On a chilly December night, Madison, a part-time rideshare driver, was finishing her shift when her app pinged with a pickup on the outskirts of town. She sighed, ready to call it a night, but accepted the ride. It was a good fare. The location was remote, a quiet stretch of road lined with bare trees. As she pulled up, her headlights revealed a man in a sharp black suit standing by the roadside. He was tall, pale, and carried a single briefcase. "Thanks for stopping," he said, climbing into the back seat, his voice smooth, almost too perfect, like a radio host. Madison forced a polite smile. "No problem. Where to?" He gave her an address in the city center. As she drove, she noticed he didn't make small talk like most passengers. Instead, he stared out the window, his expression unreadable. "Long night?" she asked, breaking the silence. He chuckled softly. "Something like that." The silence stretched on, heavy and awkward. Madison turned up the radio, hoping to lighten the mood. Suddenly, the man leaned forward. "Can I ask you something?" Madison tensed. "Sure. If you knew tonight was your last night, what would you do differently?" Her grip tightened on the wheel. "What kind of question is that?" "Just curious," he said, sitting back again. "Well," Madison said, forcing a laugh, "I'd probably call my mom. Eat some ice cream. Nothing dramatic." "Interesting," the man murmured. They reached a stoplight, and Madison glanced at him in the rearview mirror. For the first time, she noticed something strange. His reflection was faint, almost blurry. The light turned green, and Madison's heart raced as she sped through the intersection. "So," she asked cautiously, "what about you? What would you do if it were your last night?" The man smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. "Oh, I'd make sure to settle all my debts, tie up loose ends." The car suddenly felt colder, like the temperature had dropped 20 degrees. "Almost there," Madison said, trying to mask her unease. As they approached the city center, the streets grew eerily empty. Madison stopped at the address, a grand old building that looked abandoned. "Here we are," she said. The man handed her a crisp $100 bill. "For your trouble." "Thanks," she mumbled, not meeting his eyes. He stepped out, briefcase in hand. As he walked toward the building, he paused and turned back. "By the way, Madison, call your mom. Tonight." Her blood froze. She hadn't told him her name. The man disappeared into the shadows and the building's lights flickered briefly before plunging back into darkness. Heart pounding, Madison sped off, her mind racing. That night she did call her mom, and every time she thought of that strange passenger, she wondered, how did he know her name? And why did it feel like he wasn't just another ride, but a warning?